Welcome Veg Champions. Today we're cooking with
onions.
For this recipe, of course, we're going to need onions, any type that you fancy, but we recommend either red or spring onions. And really that's it, except of course for the sauce, and for the minimum for our sauce we want some tomato puree and some lemon, but we're going to show you some other ingredients that we might want to put in there as well. For example, some roasted peppers and actually some sort of spices will really spice it up, obviously. And we can do it all with a knife, but if you do have any kind of a blender, a hand blender or a stand-up blender, it's going to make it a little bit easier. So let's get on with it.
So now we have to prepare our red onions. So just peel off this outer layer of skin here and just chop off the top with your knife and the bottom. And now you want to score off the first layer of the onion, because there might be rough bits in the first layer. And remember, you have to be careful with the knife. Okay, then you want to chop it in half, then in quite thick chunks. Then just dot them into a bowl. And then cover them in boiling water for 5 minutes. So boil a kettle and pour it in.
Now red onions are good any time of the year, but in summer and late spring right into the end of summer, spring onions are fantastic because they're lovely and cheap and they are lovely and fresh. So take off the outer layer, chop off the roots, and then feel to where it's getting less tender, about there, and cut off that bit. That 5 minutes in boiling water is going to take out a lot of the sting and a lot of the strong onion taste and just leave the mildness and the sweetness.
So now we're going to make the simple harissa. Just squeeze in a bit of your tomato paste, then you want to add half of a lemon, and I'm going to do it by taking a knife and just putting it in and squeezing the juice out and twisting it out. I'll add a tiny bit of oil. Then normally this would be enough, but you can add a good clove of garlic, then a good way to get the garlic clove off is to just bash it once, just to get the skin to come off a bit. Then you can take something called a garlic press and you just place it in, and out comes the garlic. Then once you've mixed it finely enough, you can just set it to the side.
Now it's time to start cooking up these onions. Now they've already been softened quite a lot. If you actually taste these, a lot of the onion's strength has now gone, and what we're left with is a lot of sweetness and a bit of onion flavour. So a tiny bit of frying oil, not a lot. And then we're going to cook them not too much. So I think these are good to go now.
So again, we're going to be adding some frying oil, not too much. Spread it nicely around the pan. Then just take your spring onions. We're going to put them into a flat bowl now that they're nice and toasty.
Right then, I think it's time for a taste test, so let's go and do it. Here we go, it's the taste test. Oh, that sun's a bit low in the sky, isn't it? But it is nice and sunny.
I can hardly see.
Shall we just try the onions without the harissa sauce first and see what we've done to them? That really works. They're really sweet, aren't they?
Yeah, it's not as strong anymore.
No. But it's still lovely and crunchy.
Yeah.
I like that. So how would we serve this then? So I suppose we'd put the harissa on it and then serve it as a side.
Yeah, it's not really a main meal, is it?
So what would you like to serve it with if you were serving it?
Well, anything really.
Yeah. Ooh, what about roast chicken or fried chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe something Middle Eastern, maybe pittas and hummus, or pittas and falafel, or something like that.
I didn't get any onion in that bite.
Did you not? What's the harissa like?
Very good.
It is, isn't it? Oh, they work together, don't they? They
Yeah.
work together really well. Right, let's try the simple harissa and the spring onions. Now the spring onions do look nicer. Let's see if they taste nicer as well. And like with a bit of dressing like that, put on a table with a main meal, that would look amazing, wouldn't it? And more spring onions really, because we just brought a few to sample them, didn't we? So let's see what happens when we do that. I'm going to eat these with my fingers as well. Are you going for a big one? I'm going to go for this medium-sized one. And the skin comes. Oh, now that harissa does work. There's very little in there that not really any spices. We just showed examples of spice. We didn't really put it in. So that was really just garlic, lemon, and tomato paste.
And oil.
And oil and a bit of oil, just to that helps let the flavours come out. Which harissa do you prefer?
Well, they both kind of taste pretty similar.
They do, don't they?
But I kind of like this one.
Yeah.
It's a bit spicier than the other one,
Yeah. What about those
but it's
peppers?
really nice.
What about those peppers that I put in there?
The pepper's really added to the taste.
I would go with. I would be happy with either of those as a side dish to a meal, to be honest. And maybe actually they would need chopping up really, but I'm quite happy to eat with. I'm going to eat with my fingers again, because if you can't eat with your fingers in your own backyard, when can you?